Hey guys, welcome back to Almost Every Monday. I'm Katie.
And I'm Madison.
And we're here to catch you up on what you missed this week and last week in pop culture. First off, want to say please subscribe to us on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. I think you can you follow people on Spotify? I think you can.
You can follow the podcast.
Yeah, so follow us on Spotify, give us a 5-star review, like and comment on our stuff and our Instagram.
And our TikTok.
All that stuff, all of like the account names, I should say, is like in the episode description of YouTube and Spotify. So please do that. Without further ado, Madison, how are your past 2 weeks?
They were great, pretty chill. Went to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. Pretty chill, nothing crazy. We just do like my siblings and parents, and it's very small. And then came back, decorated for Christmas immediately as I came in the door. And my roommates were laughing at me for how quickly I got to it. And then started babysitting this week. And that's been great and fun. And the lady that I'm babysitting for owns a hair salon, so I also was able to get my hair done this week.
If you're watching on YouTube, Madison's new hair.
New hair. Which is fun. I've never gone to a hair salon.
I didn't know that when you said that. I was like, because you dyed your hair when you were in college.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you did that yourself.
Yeah.
Because it looked good.
Nice, girl. So I like box dyed it in college a few times through like sophomore, junior year. Up until COVID was the last time I dyed it. And went like really dark, like very dramatic difference from my natural blonde hair. And so I was like, kind of want to do that, and I'm gonna do red, but also know that red is a lot of maintenance to keep it looking like how it looks when you first dye it. And I don't know that I'm committed that much to it. So we went with like a mix of brown and red, so it's less maintenance, hopefully. And it'll stay looking good.
Yeah.
It was fun. First time ever at a salon. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Felt really bougie. My girl was really sweet and tried setting me up with her brother-in-law, which, can't complain.
You cannot complain.
I'm open to anything. No closed doors here. But she was really fun. And
how long did it take?
When
I go to
less than 2 hours. I also
You're a lucky girl.
Very thin hair.
When I go, it's 5 hours minimum. Because I have a lot of hair, and blonde, you have to let it sit and process. Whereas like with
that's true.
When I dyed my hair brown once years ago, like a really long time ago, and it didn't take that long because you just like paint it all and then you wash it. But like I have to sit there, and then
I don't know that I want to go. Like I definitely don't want to dye it blonde because at that point that's just natural. Ish at this point. But we did like demi, whatever that means. So it'll like fade out more than like grow out,
which is nice.
Which feels like less like maintenance, which is my vibe. And because I was like, I like the whole like cowboy copper trend.
I love cowboy copper.
And like that's what I said. I was like, that's what I really love, but I don't know that I'm committed to the maintenance of it. So I want to like try out red-ish.
I'm not committed to I know that I won't keep that. Like, I would like to be cowboy copper for, like, a summer or, like, a winter. Like, just, like, a season. And then I will go through... But
it'd be harder to go back to blonde.
Yeah, I'm going to go through hell getting back to blonde.
And, like, that's what she said. She was like, okay, let's do this so that if you decide you want to go brighter, either blonde or red, like, brighter, it'll be easier. And I was like, great. Because I don't know for sure what I want to, like, stick with.
My other issue is my eyebrows.
Yes.
My eyebrows are very light. Like, I don't color them in. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like, I don't fill them in. I have this, like,
it's not like
small stick that, like, looks like an eyeliner pen almost.
Yes,
and I just kind of, like, I just kind of, like,
Yeah.
My sister taught it to me. Like, I used to not do anything with my eyebrows.
Yeah,
and I, like, do that, and then I brush them, and then I, like, put this, like, brow gel on them to make them, like, bushier. But, and when I dyed my hair dark brown, like, my hair was, like, chestnut brown. It was dark. And I, like, dyed my hair, and then the next day my mom looked at me, and she was like, she didn't dye your eyebrows. And I was like...
Yeah.
So my mom, like, we, like, dyed my eyebrows at home, just, like, a little bit darker. It's, like, way gone now.
Well,
Again, this was
like,
in, like, 2017.
Yeah, but looking back at pictures of myself, and when I did it in college, like, I knew my eyebrows did not match how dark my hair was.
But right now it matches. Like, I feel like it's
like,
fine.
right now I used, like, the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Because, like, knowing that I was dyeing my hair darker, I, like, went on, like, got...
a darker one,
Because I, like... Well, just in general, because I don't normally do anything with my eyebrows. When, like, my hair was naturally... whatever. But because I knew I was dyeing my hair darker, I was like, okay, I should probably try and like match it a little bit. But yeah. That was a lot of talk about hair.
But that was
how
Madison's
was your
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
My 2 weeks was good. For Thanksgiving, we went to Boone, which is where I'm from, and we stayed with my parents. We're doing Thanksgiving with my family, Christmas with Jackson's family. So we actually saw Jackson's mom the night before Thanksgiving. We, like, stopped in Charlotte to have dinner with her and Jackson's uncle, who I've never met. Or I hadn't met before this. And then we did Thanksgiving in Boone with my mom and, like, my siblings and my grandma and my uncles. And then the next day, Jackson's dad came up to Boone to get their Christmas tree. They always do that the day after Thanksgiving. And so we, like, did that with them. My mom got our nails done. On Saturday, Jackson and I and a couple of our friends went to the Tennessee game, which was really fun. And then we came home. On Sunday, my mom got her Christmas tree, so we did that too. And then, which actually, fun fact, so Christmas tree, like, the industry is, like, a huge thing in Boone. Like, it's, first off, it's gotten outrageously expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And we, like, literally didn't buy a tree because it was so expensive. We were like, it would be like $150. And I was like, $150 for something that's going to sit in my house for less than 4 weeks? Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, I would probably leave ours up for longer, but whatever. So we have a fake tree in our corner. But I found out that the Christmas tree at the White House comes from Boone. Right outside of Boone, like in West Jefferson where my parents live.
Every year?
Every year. They get it from there. Isn't that crazy? I had no idea. And they're like a wholesale Christmas tree place. So, like, they will sell to, like, people in Charlotte who are selling them, like, at Lowe's and stuff. But, like, in Boone, you can't get them at Lowe's or Home Depot because it's, like, direct competition.
Yeah, apparently, like, everywhere we went in Charleston to find my mom's tree, like, they're all like, North Carolina grown.
Yep, they're all, yeah. I would think also in, like, Oregon and Washington is where they grow a lot of them. So I'm like, how are people in, like, Texas getting real Christmas trees? They're probably even more expensive in Texas because it's like, I'm getting them straight from the farm. They're getting them shipped in. Yeah. We went to this really cute place that, like, has, like, they had, like, it's also a winery. And so it was like a winery, and they had, like, a coffee truck and, like, kettle corn. It was really fun. But yeah, and then we came home, and I haven't done a ton this week. Just worked, and yeah, we went to Reformation one night. That's about it. Yesterday, Madison and I both worked at camp for a couple hours.
Got to play together.
Yes. And then today I really haven't done anything. So. Pretty chill.
All right. Book club. This week's plural. We read through chapter 28.
Yeah, 15 through 28.
Okay. Just had to double check. I read them. I actually read them all this week.
We're so proud.
Today, actually. Thoughts?
Okay, so this time when I took notes, I did, like, a little, like, plot synopsis. So I'm gonna go through what happened. So, just so you know, I'm about to say what happened in the chapters 15 through 28. If you're listening and you haven't read yet, skip to the next segment. Also, yeah, what are you doing? You literally had 2 weeks. Madison even did it. So, okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell if that was my notes or my recap. So, Ethan says he did put the painting back up, and then he goes back on it. Like, he said, oh, that was me. Yeah. And then he was like, wait, I never did that. Like, I said I moved it. You asked who moved it. And so then we were, like, freaked out again. Then Trisha told him that she was pregnant because she threw up, and she was like, I might as well just tell him. And he took it really well. He was like, oh, I thought that, like, you didn't want kids.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Miscommunication happens in marriage. We found out that Adrian got blackmailed by EJ with the video of her slashing that guy's tire, which was
so weird.
Absolutely insane. I have thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And then Adrian slept with Luke, and they started dating. And Trisha finds the sleeping bag and the pillow in the attic, and that's like kind of where it left off. I don't think anything crazy happened after that.
Pretty much.
Here are my thoughts.
Can I say one thing?
Of course.
Not so much to do with the plot. How old is Adrian?
I don't know. I in my head she's in her 30s.
Okay, in the beginning of the book, I was like, oh, she's like old lady vibes.
Oh, like 60.
Yeah, and then she's like dating this guy, and like, I don't know, just some of the things that like we find out, I'm like, oh,
I thought that I think I always assumed she was in her 30s or 40s, or because I don't know, she just like didn't seem old to me, and then, but she also didn't seem like in her 20s. I think it mentioned somewhere she was in her 30s, because I think she mentioned somewhere that like people thought that it was weird that she was in her 30s and like she didn't want to date anybody or whatever, and so. Yeah, I think that she's in her mid-30s.
I was just thinking about that the whole time I was listening. I was like, I don't know how old
You didn't Google it?
No. I was just going to ask you.
Okay. Okay, so first and foremost, my first note is Adrian seems like a psycho. Like,
yeah.
I understand getting upset that someone took your parking spot, but she was thinking way too much about it. Like, when those things have happened to me, I've been like, ugh, you jerk, and then I just move on and find a different spot. I've never thought about it for more than 10 minutes. I'm like, you clearly, and if you do, you have something else going on behind the surface. It's not just the parking spot.
For sure.
And so she was like, she had this whole, and you know, also books are dramatized, whatever. And I was ignoring it at first. At first, she had this whole long monologue about how this guy stole her spot. And I was like, okay, weird, but maybe she's in a bad mood, and it's a book. Maybe there's over dramatizing. And then she slashed the guy's tire, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay, so you have some issues.
Yeah.
You have some issues. I don't know what they are, but you got them. My next note is that, okay, I was wrong. Wait. My next note is, okay, so I was wrong about her not wanting to date, but also right.
Okay.
And I have no idea what that means. Like, I should have written more context for that note. Like, what was I right about?
I don't know.
Like, remember, because I know what I said last time was that it says that she had a boyfriend, and I find it shocking that this woman would have a boyfriend. And so I was wrong about that. I don't know what I was right about. So, whatever. I guess I wasn't right. I like Luke.
Okay.
I do like him. I think that he's cutie and sweet and seems nice. Seems normal, and like also like willing to accept her like quirks. Like when he was like, you don't want me to stay here, do you? And she was like, no. And he was like, okay. Like he wasn't like upset about it. I'm also starting to think one of my suspicions right now is that Adrian isn't dead. That's just a thought that I had pop up in my head. And my last thing is, what the freak does EJ want from her? Like how he's just like making her sit through these sessions where he's just like talking about his like fantasies and like these girls he wants to hook up with, and like insinuating he wants to hook up with her. I'm like, what do you want from her? I think he probably
likes to see her like uncomfortable.
Yeah. I also think that like, because in my head, this is about to be like graphic kind of, but like in my head he could just like assault her and like take advantage of her. I mean, I don't know how big he is. This is a book. But like, I'm like, if you really want to like hook up with her that bad, you could just assault her, I guess. But I'm also like, maybe part of it is that like he wants her to want him, and I'm like, I don't really know if that's gonna happen.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, I think, I'm feeling more and more that EJ is Ethan.
Yeah.
But also I'm so confused how Trisha's not like putting the pieces together.
I just feel like if I heard a video of Jackson when he was, I mean, I guess I don't know how old EJ is. How old did they say he was? I think he's like 19 because he's supposed to be in college, but he's not. Or he's like college age.
Yeah.
That also is, I mean, I guess it's different. Like I knew Jackson in college, but like I just, even our friend Jason, like, this is so, like, I just feel like maybe they're, like, around the same age. Our friend
Mhm.
Jason's in his 30s. If I heard a recording of Jason in college, I feel like I would, after listening to it for hours, like she has, I'd be able to pinpoint it was Jason. Like,
yeah. And, like, the things that he's saying, too, it's, like, oddly lining up with his life. Because EJ says, like, in chapter 22, he's like, well, my parents are gonna die soon, I'm gonna get all their money.
yeah, like, maybe they're gonna get into a car crash.
Like, maybe their brakes go out. And so he's, like, insinuating that he's, like, thinking about how.
And Ethan
doesn't have parents.
And he said they got into an accident.
And he's rich.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Like, Trisha.
Okay, first up, well, here are our topics. I'll say that first. Our topics are Hunger Games review, Hollywood Babies, November 26th gate. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you're gonna find out. And then Survivor recap the past 2 weeks. Okay, so first up, the Hunger Games review. That we forgot to say that in our 2 week. That's it. We went to go see the Hunger Games. Yeah, it was almost 2 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
Because we saw it on Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So we saw the Hunger Games. I still have not finished the book. When I went, that is horrible. Wow. Okay.
You had 2 weeks.
Yep. Awesome. I'm just reflecting how that makes me feel. I'm not hitting my reading goal this year, and I don't want to talk about it. But I was halfway through the book when I saw the movie, and I probably only read like 50 pages since then, because I was probably like right under 250, and now I'm probably like right over 300. So yeah, that was my knowledge going in. Madison hasn't read the book.
No. I had no knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew the plot,
yeah. Everyone knew the plot, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts?
I loved it. I think I was apprehensive to Rachel Ziegler because of, is that how you say her last name?
That's how I say it. I say Ziegler.
Okay. Because of all the like backlash she got from
the Snow White stuff.
Yeah. But I thought she did a great job. Obviously, I didn't know. I had no expectations walking in to what the characters were gonna be or be like. But I think she did a great job. And love Tom Blythe. Hopping on that bandwagon. I think he did great. And I like that you could like see how like he was playing the same character as Sutherland in the like first 3 or the I guess 4 technically. And yeah, I think I really enjoyed it, and it made me want to read the book to know more about his like internal monologue, because that wasn't really part of the movie.
Yeah.
And so like hearing that was more of the book was internal monologue made me more interested in reading it.
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts. I want to get out ahead of it. I did like the movie. And if I had never read the book and had no interest in reading the book, like, I would probably have nothing else to say. Like, I really liked the movie. I thought it was very well cast. Like, I thought Viola Davis did an amazing job. I thought Peter Dinklage did a great job. Rachel Ziegler, Tom Blythe. Yeah. I don't know the guy who plays Seamus. Josh something.
He has like a hyphenated.
I thought he did a great job. I thought everyone did a great job. I thought it was very well made. I thought it was very cool to see the games, like to actually see the games 65 years before Katniss and Peeta and all them. Thought it was cool. I think there's a lot of parallels between like, because a lot of people on TikTok are saying like Katniss didn't remind Snow of Lucy Gray. Katniss reminded Snow of Seamus, and like that's what he's more broken up, but not what he's more broken up about, but that's also a huge thing for him, is that like it's his fault, and that like regret, or maybe regret, I don't know, question mark. He was upset though, so whatever. And so yeah, like I thought the movie was really great. However, so when I I read the Hunger Games books like when I was in middle school or something,
Right,
and I've rewatched the movies a million times, but I've only reread the first Hunger Games book once. I haven't reread Catching Fire or Mockingjay. I just reread it in August, and I reread it on Jackson and I's honeymoon, and then we watched it after I read it in like a day, and then we watched the movie, and when I reread, because I always remember not really liking Katniss in the first movie. And I couldn't really figure out why. And then I reread the book and I was like, why did I not like her? Like, she's so great. Like, I totally understand why she's doing everything she's doing, what her motivations are, like, what her reasoning is, what her thought process is. And I was like, why didn't I like her? And then I watched the movie and I was like, that's why I didn't like her. Because you only see what she's doing and not why she's doing it and what she's thinking during it.
Yeah.
And so when I went into this movie, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, you don't hear anything he's thinking in his head.
Yeah.
And like, you hear so many, and I'm not saying this is an excuse, Snow's a horrible person, but like, he literally had to fend for himself, and like, it's one of those cases where like, he had to grow up too quickly in a very like, jarring way. Like, it's not like, oh, he just had to fend for himself. He had to fend for himself and act like nothing was wrong. And like, even his like, inner monologue of like, he would like when he would be eating at the academy for lunch, he would be like, I'm starving, but like, I can't eat too quickly. I can't gorge myself. Like, I can't act like I'm not eating at home. Like, there's just so many like little intricate things. And like, for that to all be left, and there's like, there were a lot of things that were left out of the movie in general, not just his inner monologue. There were some things that were changed. And so I was just like, and some things that I felt like did not get enough time. Like, all the stuff that happened with Clemencia, like, there was way more behind that. Like, the girl who, like, got bit by the snake. Like, there was way more behind that. Like, and so I'm just, like, for that to all not be shown, like, that's kind of crazy to me. And I just think that at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say. And I already said this to Madison, and she told me why it didn't happen, and I still think it's stupid. Mockingjay, the book was 290 pages, and they split it into 2 movies. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is over 500 pages, and they put it into 1 movie, and I just think that's stupid. I'm like, first off, if you didn't want to make 2 movies, make a 4-hour movie. And because you know what? Hunger Games is not for the average watcher, it's for the nerds. It's for the people that really want to understand what's going on. Like, if you're just watching it to watch it, it's not for you. Like, it's not for your, like, general viewing. Also, this movie was so intense and like dark that I was like, this is not for you. This is not for you. Like, this is for the fans. And I just feel like it was a good movie. I don't think it did the original story that Suzanne Collins wrote justice, is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel. And I haven't even finished the book. But that's one thing, I'm just like, there is so much. I think that the book is split into 3 parts. It's like it said in the movie. It's like the mentor, I don't remember.
Peacekeeper.
Yeah, but what was
one of them?
But yeah, it's mentor, peacekeeper, and something else. And I'm just like, it should have been like the first 2 parts could have been 1 movie, and then the peacekeeper part could have been its own movie. Because the first 2 parts, it's 300 pages total. The peacekeeper part is 200 pages. So I'm like, part 3 alone was almost the same length as Mockingjay, the book.
Dang.
Which is just like, when you first said that, like, because Madison told me that the guy who directed Mockingjay said it was like his biggest regret to put it into 2 movies. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I get that. I get that regret, kind of, whatever. But I'm just like, well, that was a 290-page book. Of course you regret that. This is a 500-page book. Like, this book is thick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm like, because you've said before, I think that it was you that said it, would just like when they're doing book adaptations, that it would just go to TV series. So it's like you have more time, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think they would make way less money off of it.
Oh yeah, they're doing way less money, but even if they just did this, like, it could have been a really cool 3-part series. You can put it in theaters. I don't care. I would have paid to go see it. I don't care. Like 1 part being an hour and a half, 1 part being an hour and a half, and the last one being like 2 hours or something. Or even, again, just a 2-part movie. Like, you would make so much more. Like, in theory, you're making twice as much money.
Yeah. Or like even Because the director of Mockingjay said, like, because they came out a year apart from each other, but they were filmed at the same time. Like, that's what he regrets. Is, like, because, like, it was already, like, I don't want to say not motivation, but, like, the draw of the whole series was already, like, so big. And then to have people wait a year to finish it just seemed strange. Because they had already filmed it and it was already done.
But like they didn't have to do that. They could have made them 6 months apart.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like they could have done that with this one of like have it 3-part, but they come out like 2 months apart from each other or something. So it's like there's still the like
and I'm sure I'm naive as heck, and there's a million reasons why that's a dumb idea. And again, I'm not saying the book wasn't, or I'm not saying the movie wasn't good. Again, if you've never read the book, you have no interest in watching and reading the book, you're just watching the Hunger Games movies and like that's it, then like it's fun. Like it was a good movie. Yeah. But I'm just like I would say
it's probably one of the best movies this year.
Yeah. There was just so much that wasn't in it. Yeah. And some things were just like I was like that doesn't even make sense that they just said that. Like even like at the beginning when Dean Highbottom was like, all right, you were not giving out the prize today. Now the prize is going to be whoever like does this the best. That is not what happened in the books. Yeah. Like in the books, after Sejamus like went into the arena and like came out, that's and like then I think his tribute was like because Marcus wasn't there anymore, whatever. That's when his dad decided to make a prize, and it was called the Plinth Prize, and it was like, okay, whoever wins, you get money for the university or something. Yeah. So like the whole thing was just like that was never meant to be like this like competition. Yeah. I mean, it was a competition obviously, and you get like you could get a prize, but like it just was like it was like weird.
I think it's also hard because it. Like, obviously I haven't read the book, but it sounds like it's mostly internal, like, monologue.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is hard to, like, carry out in movie form.
Yeah.
But I think that they, like, had to, like, shift some of the events in the book because of that, like, lack of internal dialogue that, like...
To make it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and so there's I mean, there's a million little things you can nitpick and, like... I can think of like 4 off the top of my head of like very small things like how he bribed the person to put him in District 12. Like he didn't bribe them, he just asked and they said yes. They were like, I don't know why you want to go to District 12, that seems stupid, but sure, if you're gonna volunteer to go there, then fine, nobody else wants to. Yeah. There's like a lot of little things, but
Alright, next up, Hollywood Babies.
Hollywood Babies.
I feel like, did we talk about the Barkers?
I think we talked about its name.
Yeah, we posted about it.
But we did post about it.
Just checking.
But they had a baby.
Yes. 2 other Hollywood babies. One's born, one's just announced.
One's still cooking.
So Paris Hilton announced that she now has a baby girl.
She said that. Wait, sorry, what's it?
You go.
She said that. Didn't she say that she announced it like to her family at Thanksgiving or something?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking about something else. But I thought I saw something that said she like announced it to her family at Thanksgiving. Like her family didn't know that she was surrogating baby. I don't know. Anyway, what's its name?
London.
Oh yes.
Which is just funny because London Tipton from Sweet Life was based
a parody
of her,
yeah.
And now her daughter's name is London. And also, Suki Waterhouse and Robert Pattinson are confirmed to be expecting their first baby.
I guess it's not confirmed that he's the dad.
Yeah. I mean, they're in a long-term
but
relationship.
It's assumed, but, yeah. I think we maybe, because me and Madison were trying to think about if we talked about this already, but I think a couple weeks ago, people were speculating, which I think is so rude. I'm like, bruh, like, what if you're just bloated one day and then everyone thinks that you're pregnant? Like, that's horrible. Yeah. But people were, like, talking, like, is she pregnant, is she not? But then she confirmed it at her show. Yes. I mean, she's, like, pretty far along now. Like, you could tell that she's pregnant.
You can tell. Yeah, she wore a cute little sparkly dress to her show in, I think it was Mexico City.
In Mexico, yeah.
And she like said, she was like, well, I was hoping that the more sparkles I wore, the more it would distract from what else is going on here. So I guess she technically didn't say that she was pregnant, but
then she posted that picture and she posted a picture of
Obviously.
her outfit afterwards, and you could tell.
Yeah. Super cute. I love her. She's so cute.
She is so cute. How long have they been dating? Like, were they dating before Daisy Jones and the Six came out?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think multiple years.
I really like them together.
Yeah, they're really cute. I love her. Daisy Jones and the Six was one of my top artists, and so
that's hilarious.
The video that the artist made for Spotify, she was the one that did it for Daisy Jones and the Six. So that was cute. Yeah, I love her. Her music's fun. And they're just cute together.
Yeah,
so,
they're really cute.
Hope they're happy about it.
Hope they're happy. Hope Paris Hilton is doing well. That's her second kid.
I think definitely first daughter. I don't know.
I thought that she already had a kid, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, also by surrogate. Like, I don't think that she's ever been pregnant publicly.
Let's see.
I bet that Suki and Robert are gonna name their kids something very unique. Also, I wonder if they're ever gonna get married. I mean, they haven't been dating like long enough to the point where I think it's like, oh my gosh, why aren't they married yet? But I just wonder if they ever will.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, this article about Paris Hilton welcomed a baby boy in January of this year.
Wow. I mean, I guess I knew she had a kid somewhat recently.
Yeah.
I guess when you surrogate a kid, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Because this is what now, November. They're Irish twins.
Yeah. The suggested searches, one of them is, why is Paris Hilton's baby's head so big?
Don't do the baby so dirty like that. It can't defend itself. Neither of them can. Oh my gosh, that's like a lot for her. I mean, I'm sure she has nannies and all of the things, but interesting that she would want two kids that close together.
Yeah. Interesting.
The baby has a condition.
Apparently.
Which one?
The boy.
That's sad.
I think it's like not uncommon.
Yeah.
So.
Well, congrats to all the Hollywood families.
Yeah.
They'll have more nannies than anyone else.
Maybe that's what I could do.
Maybe you can be Paris Hilton's nanny.
Loki, that sounds fun.
New job for Madison.
I mean, Kim Kardashian got her start with Paris Hilton, right?
Yes, she was Paris Hilton's assistant.
Maybe
and that's when Travis Barker thought that she was cute.
Yeah.
Or sexy, as he would say.
Ew. Gross.
Okay, next up is November 26th Gate. Which I'm honestly just mad at myself about. Anyway, let's just get into explaining what it is. But if you don't know what it is, it's basically on November 26th, a lot of people, including myself, including Madison.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out there.
You really wrote me in.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote myself in. We all believed it was the last night of the Eras tour in 2023. She's continuing in 2024 with her international leg and then a second North America leg. But it was the last night in 2023. And I'm going to be honest, a lot of things pointed towards her re-releasing or announcing the re-record of Reputation, which I know I said in the last video or in the last podcast that I would never believe another theory and that I was firm on she's not re-releasing or announcing anything in 2023, and I fell victim. I did. And, you know, I watched all these TikToks, and a lot of it just made sense. And then on top of that, honestly, it's kind of like she played us. Like, I'm just going to be honest, because there were so many, like, some of the things were such reaches, sure. Like, there was, like, all these things about how, like, you know, I Did Something Bad was the only song that she hadn't done surprise songs yet. And that's what happened with Speak Now. So, like, totally get it. Like, there are things like that, like, would it make sense? Yes. But that she didn't do anything. But then it's like, Tree, her mom, and her dad all wore black to that show. And she Selena Gomez posted on her story, and she was
Right.
wearing all black, and she had a smoky
Her
eye.
dancers were all posting
Her
like
dancers,
black hearts about
yep,
the last show.
and they were all of them had some sort of have some sort of reputation reference. So there were tangible things like that where I'm just like, why would you do that?
It's totally happening.
Yeah. Like, I get that she's been dropping so many Easter eggs that Reputation is next, but there were so many tangible things that I was like, okay, well, it's getting announced tonight.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing in the car. Well, the whole thing. I watched like the Lover set and like Folklore or Evermore, and then I watched Reputation and I watched the surprise songs.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen.
Nope, nothing happened.
And now, not only am I not believing any more of these theories, now when I see a theory on TikTok, I don't even watch it. I scroll past it. I don't even want it in my algorithm anymore. Like, I'm done. Like,
I usually swipe past people that I know post all the theories. I swipe past them. It's annoying.
Well, and it just gets my hopes up. I'm like, especially for Reputation, like obviously I care about the other re-records, but Reputation is my favorite album.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to hear the vault songs that it's like, I'm not listening to this anymore. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I think, actually I don't have a fully formed thought about it, but okay. I think December 13th we're going to get something else. Other than the movie stuff or whatever she already announced. I think she'll announce or release something. Maybe just like the singles of like songs she's done for movies, or like, you know, like something small but a little something. Yeah,
like how You're Losing Me.
Yeah,
went to streaming, which I was really excited about, and now it's opened up this whole can of worms because Jack Antonoff posted on his story and said that they recorded it December 5th of 2021. Yeah, and so people are like, when did they break up?
That was way before people thought.
That was way before I thought they were having issues. Here's my thing. I still firmly believe, and people can say whatever they want, I really don't care. First off, everybody's like, Midnight's is a breakup album. I'm like, have you listened to anything she's ever said about Midnight? She said it was a collection of her life. Yeah. So, like, she did not write Midnights all in one stretch. Yeah. She said these are songs that she's written throughout the years, which is proven because one of them she wrote in 2021, You're Losing Me. Like, she wrote that 2 years before the album came out.
Well, I think it's, like, all new songs, but based on...
Yeah. Like, it's not, like...
It's not vault songs.
Yeah, it's not vault songs. It's not, like... It's just, like...
It's like she put herself in her shoes from 10 years
ago. Yeah. So I'm like, it's not an anything album because it's from multiple different things in her life. Yeah, like also Lavender Haze isn't
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, and I think some of them are so I'm just like, whatever. Like, could have, would have, should have is about John Mayer. Like, no one can convince me that it's not. It's about John Mayer. Like, it's not about anything that happened recently. So whatever. So I think that's stupid. Also, people are like dying on this hill that because like it was announced that they broke up or figured out, I guess, in spring of 2023. Like right before our show, I feel like a month or two. And people are like, well, they broke up way before that, all this stuff, whatever. And I want to go back to this. Because everyone seems to forget because she deleted the video. But when she was announcing all of the song tracks from Midnight's on her TikTok, she had a video where she talked about Glitch. Was it Glitch? Or was it Labyrinth? Or was it Lavender Haze?
I don't know.
One of the videos that she announced, I think it was Lavender Haze, honestly. One of the videos she announced the song title on, she literally said, this is about my current 6-year relationship. And I was like, and that was in like, Midnight's came out in October. I think all those videos were in like September, maybe beginning of October. So that was September, October 2022. So they were still together then. And it's like, I don't know when they broke up. I don't know. All I know is in September of 2022, they were still together. And so I'm like, all these people's theories about like, oh, well, they had to have broken up before You're Losing Me was written. No, they didn't. Maybe they were having issues. I don't know. I don't know what goes on. Yeah. But they were still together. Yeah. Maybe they were on a break. In September of 2022, they were still together. Yeah. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yep. Somewhat side note, I think it's so funny now that like people who are new to being fans of Taylor, if you knew me in middle school and you are posting about Taylor Swift now, I know for a fact you're a new fan.
Because you were alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had one friend that was excited for me when I went to the Red Tour in 8th grade. One.
If you're listening to this and you went to middle school with Madison and you're a Taylor Swift fan now, you're canceled.
I know you're new, and you're gonna say that you've been around forever. Lies.
And it's okay that you're new, but just admit that.
Yeah. Nothing
Like, I have nothing
obviously.
against admitting that after Red, like sometime after Red came out. Wait, were these consecutive? What was after Red? What album was after Red? Okay, so then I think so like this is kind of a break, but not like a super break. In between Red and 1989, like I didn't really listen to her. And then when 1989 came out, then I started getting back into her. Mm-hmm. Like that break, I just was like, I didn't really listen to her, didn't really pay attention. And then also...
And that's okay because you can admit that.
Yeah, and also when Lover came out, I did not listen to it. I did not listen to Lover for a whole year.
Dang.
It came out in like fall of like
2018.
Wow.
It was my sophomore year.
Then I didn't.
No, junior year.
2019. Okay, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to it till July of 2020. And I can admit that. And now I love Lover. It's awesome. And I can admit that. If you can't admit that, like Madison's middle school friends.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway, continue.
And I'm thinking of one specifically who is my best friend. And I know for a fact she doesn't listen or care about this podcast. And that's okay too.
One day she's going to listen.
Maybe. But she posts. Every time Taylor Swift posts, she'll repost it and be like, that's my girl, like my day one, my whatever. I'm like, girl, you made fun of me in middle school for liking her. And now you're saying that you've liked her forever, and that's crazy. Like,
that is crazy.
I danced to a Taylor Swift song in 5th grade for the talent show with my best friend. Shout out Alexis. She's not the girl that I'm talking about. And, like, everyone thought it was weird that I liked Taylor Swift because she was still country. And then in middle school, they didn't like her because she dated Harry Styles. And everybody loved Harry Styles. Me too. But I love Taylor first. And now everybody's on the bandwagon. And that's fine. Like, I love that everybody loves Taylor. But what I don't love is that people are like, I've loved her forever.
You haven't.
You used to slut shame her, okay? So, pop off.
I know that we've talked about this, but I also used Taylor Swift in my 5th grade talent show. I sang Forever and Always with my friend Taylor. My friend whose also name was Taylor. I thought we did. But when I was in 5th grade, we had a talent show at my school. Is 5th grade talent show just like a thing?
I think so.
And I sang Forever and Always with my best friend at the time. Her name is also Taylor.
I danced to our song.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
Wow. And then in 8th grade, I did a solo in our dance performance at the end of the year that I helped me and my dance teacher choreograph together to Tie Together with a Smile.
Wow.
So, yeah. True day one. I mean, honestly, I would say, like, day 10 because I wasn't there for, like, the first album release.
Me personally, I don't know that I was there for the first album release, but because I don't even know at this point what year it came out, but I remember exactly where I was when I heard a Taylor Swift song for the first time.
Yeah.
It was the summer before I was in 4th grade, I think.
Yeah.
It was like the summer between 3rd and 4th grade. I was visiting my cousins in Texas, and we were like at her friend's house, and her friend like lives on a farm. I doubt she's friends with her anymore, but she like lives on a farm, and she like liked country music, and like that's when Taylor was country, and she played Tim McGraw, and Tim McGraw was the first Taylor Swift song I ever heard.
My first memory of Taylor. I love that this is where this is all. Is listening to Teardrops on my guitar on the jukebox. Alright, Survivor.
2 weeks of Survivor.
2 weeks of Survivor. More big gameplay, I feel like.
Yeah.
Medium gameplay.
Yeah, gameplay nonetheless.
According to Jake, they're now playing Survivor.
Yeah. According to Jake, when they voted out Kelly, they're playing Survivor.
Okay, I think the last 2 weeks I have really loved Jake. I felt pretty like neutral about him up until these last couple episodes. Now I think he's really funny and like he wants to play the game, but he's just put himself in a weird position where he's like bottom of the totem pole and like doesn't have a ton of influence over the game, but like he wants to. Yeah,
I personally think this whole game is out of everyone's hands because of the Reba 4. Like unless the Reba 4 decide to do something or they decide to go against each other, the other players can say that they're playing, but they're not. Well, they are playing. I'm not saying that, but it's like it's like nothing too crazy that they want to happen is gonna happen. Like even like last week with Emily and Katora kind of wanting Mama J out, it was like, well, that's not what the Reba 4 wanted. And it's like, I know Emily did some stuff with Bruce so that he went home, but he's still not one of the Reba. Like, none of them are going to be able to get a Reba person out unless the Reba people go in on each other, is what I'm saying.
Right. I think it was really impressive what Emily did. I think I've seen people comparing her to the Black Widow Brigade of, like, Parvati and the old school players when they got Eric out of, I forget what season it was, but they like all like conned him into giving up his immunity, and it's basically what Emily did with Bruce of like talking him into this like comfort level that was like completely false.
I can't believe she was able to that actually okay, I'm gonna give her that. It was impressive that she, and we all know I don't like Emily, but it was impressive that she like was able to get Bruce not to play his idol.
Yeah.
I still think like Bruce or Jake was going home. That's what I'm saying is that like Emily wasn't going. Emily, Katura, Bruce, Jake, none of these people are going to be able to get a Reba person out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think.
Well, also I think that it was so. I think it was dumb that when Kendra was still there, like I don't even know what week we're on. When Kendra was still there, they had the numbers. They should have voted one of them out.
Yes.
Like that was silly, and that's where I'm not loving what's going on with Emily, because I'm like, I don't think that you're really paying attention to what could happen. Now, what could happen next week is they listen to Katora, because what Katora said was true. Like nobody wants to go to the top 3 with somebody who people refer to them as mama. Like that is intimidating, and like people love her and they're drawn to her, and she's so empathetic and she's so kind. But so it's like, unless next week they make a move against Reba, it's like Reba's just going to be the top 4, because I think they're just going to keep picking each other off, or the other people off.
Yes, and I think, I feel, I don't know why I think this, I probably saw some conspiracy about it, that they get Julie out next.
Well, in the promo it said like Drew was saying Mama J, but I'm like, that also could have been like him just like telling Emily that because they're gonna vote her. You know, like we don't know. But if they're smart, they'll vote Emily out soon.
No, she's gonna win.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're smart, like they don't want to go to the top 3 with her either. Like she's played a great game.
I mean, Reba's gonna have to get rid of one of them, no matter what.
Well, eventually.
She can't have a top 4.
But isn't it?
Said that.
But isn't it like? Tell me. This is what I'm going off of. This is what happened last season. So you can tell me that this is wrong.
Be similar.
Because last season they had the top 4, and then they didn't have to vote any of each other out, because it's like one of them won immunity, and then you can bring somebody else with you. Which in last season Heidi chose to take 2 other people so she could do the fire. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of.
Remember Heidi?
Sorry.
Last season with Heidi, Carson, Jam, and what the freak is her name? Yes, her name was Heidi. What's the other lady's name? Carolyn. That was the top 4. I will show you a picture of her after.
I don't remember Heidi.
So they were top 4. Heidi, for when there were 4 people left, won immunity. And she was like, I don't know who I should take. I also kind of want to do the fire making challenge because I think I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
Carson was horrible at fire making. Yes. So she chose Carolyn and Jam to go to have immunity. Like she didn't choose herself one other person. She gave them immunity. Yeah. She put herself in fire making, and her and Carson, she won. And she set the record. She's like the quickest person to ever do it.
I can't picture her.
Also, she's like petite. She kind of looks like Mama J, except she's older.
Okay.
But she's like, she's not white. So she's like, I'm not gonna try and place her nationality, but like maybe Hispanic. She has glasses. She always wore the buff as a headband. Anyway, I really liked her. Moral of the story is, that could happen, and then none of them would have to vote anybody else out. Like that's what I think is going to happen, unless they make a move next week. They're just going to go to the top 4 together. One of them's going to win immunity, probably Austin. Austin will probably take Drew, and then Mama J and Dee will go to fire making.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's where I don't think that Emily is looking at this long game. I'm like, sure, they're good allies because they're good players, but that doesn't mean they're good allies to you. And Drew has proved that. Drew and Austin have proved that over and over again, because every time they talk when Emily isn't there, they're like, we're still good with the four of us. We're like, they never include Emily unless she's standing in front of them. Like, they're not loyal to her. They just like that she gives them information.
Yeah.
So that's my thought process. You see a picture of her yet, or?
Nope, still looking.
Are you kidding me? What? No, I don't have my phone. Give me yours.
You just locked mine.
Look up Heidi.
I
Survivor
did.
44. You're on Instagram. Go on Google.
Okay.
Is her name not Heidi? Look, Sydney from behind the camera has a photo. Zoom in. Zoom in. Look at her. Okay, she looks too good in that picture.
Yeah.
That's not what she looked like on the island.
On day 30. Okay.
You don't remember that woman?
I mean, I
She
do.
was in the top 3.
I do, but I don't remember her being in the end.
She pulled a really cool move. She literally sent herself to
Yes,
fire
yeah,
making, and
yeah.
she has
That's
the
facts,
quickest one in all of Survivor history.
Okay. Forgive me. My
All right.
terrible memory.
Anyway, those are my thoughts on it right now. I'm like, well, Reba has, if they don't turn on each other. Now, if they turn on each other, that's whatever. That's between them and God. But like, if they don't turn on each other, they're gonna be the top 4, because they're just gonna they're gonna pluck off Jake next, then they're gonna pluck off Katora, and then they're gonna pluck off Emily, unless one of them wins immunity at top 5. But Emily can't win anything.
I saw someone saying, which is what I want to happen, is that they get out Mama J, and then
I do not want that to happen. Every time I like a character, every time I like a player, they get voted out. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of that happening.
That's what I'm saying. Well, we like different people in the game. But I think that they'll get out Mama J this week. I hope they get out Mama J this week. And then Jake, Emily, and Katura end up being in the final.
Do you think it'd be... I still don't... Austin and Drew have so many idols, that's not gonna happen.
I know, but I mean, you never know. Literally never know.
I mean, yeah, you never know, but I'm like,
if Austin plays his idols correctly, then yeah, he'll be through to the final.
I think that if they vote out one of their own, they're going to be on heightened mode. Like, they're gonna be like, okay, well, the other people could get us out at any point.
Yeah.
They're not like, D is cocky enough to think that that's not gonna happen, but Austin and Drew are not.
Yeah. But I'm like, what if one of them wins to be like the final immunity, and then they like put one of the other, so either Austin or Drew goes to fire making, and like something crazy happens.
Also, I'm just like, and this is maybe not how you play the game, but I feel like when you're at the point, if you're top 4, like, does it really matter? If I won immunity, top 4, I would pick the least likable person. I would not pick my friend.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would like in my head, Drew or Austin, if they win that immunity, they're gonna choose the other person. But like,
they're gonna bring each other.
I would choose like Jake. Like, not like Jake. I know that you love Jake, but he hasn't played that great of a game. He never knows what's going on.
Yeah, I just watched back. What season was it? I think 40. The Winners at War, and was so pissed at who won, because I was like, I didn't like him. He was mean. So I'm like, if I were on that jury, I wouldn't have voted for him.
Well, I wish the jury would hold a grudge. I'll be honest. Like, they need some backbone. I'm like, Kelly and Kendra looked pissed at this last tribal council, and they looked out for blood, and I needed to stay that way. Yeah, I needed to stay that way. Like, you should take into account that these people screwed you over. Yeah. And maybe that's not how you're supposed to, but I would. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how Bruce almost won immunity again? For the 3rd time in a row. Yeah. Austin really pulled it out.
Yeah. I was yelling at the TV.
I just want a girl to win. Like, an immunity challenge. She doesn't have to win the whole season, but I just want a girl to win something.
Franny.
Yeah. Franny was so... I love Franny. Also, what I was saying, too, is that Emily, she did win this reward challenge, which I was proud of her for.
You don't think she's going to win immunity?
No, I don't think she's ever going to win immunity. Now, I will say, I literally, me and Jackson were like talking about all of these same things, like as the episode was going on this week, and I was like, well, Emily's never gonna win anything, and then literally right after that, she won the reward.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I actually really don't think she's gonna win.
Endurance one.
Also, well, why are they all endurance? Are immunity challenges always
That's what I was
endurance?
thinking. I
Where's
don't
the
think so.
puzzle? Like, give me a puzzle. Like, I'm just like, why are they all endurance? Like, of course the
Yeah.
same person is going to win over and over again where the same type of challenge.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess technically D won one of the endurance challenges, the pole.
Mhm.
But, like, that was completely different. Like, that's a completely different,
Mhm.
I don't know, muscle endurance than the past three. The past three have literally been all the same, basically.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
why are they all so similar?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish they would have a swim race one week. I would win.
I almost said me too, but I don't know at this point if I would. Me, like, 10 years ago, definitely would.
Or like, so you can swim for the longest, or tread water the longest. I would win. Bro, they have the safety swimmers at New Year's Eve this week.
No, you know what's gonna happen soon?
What?
What's it called?
Don't know, girl.
Nope, the gate in the water.
Yes. I don't know what it's called either, but I
totally
can...
gonna happen within the next 2 weeks.
Well, do you think it's gonna happen next week after what happened with Katora? Or... I don't know, on the podcast, Jeff seemed really sympathetic with her. So I feel like that would be a kind of a jerk move to then do the next week be a different water challenge.
I mean, but that's like...
It's not up to Jeff only. But...
Yeah, but I think because... I don't think that was normal behavior for Katura because...
No, he said it wasn't because they do a swim test.
Like, she's not a strong swimmer, but, like, she's not afraid of the water, typically. I think it's just, like, a panic attack in the moment kind of thing. But, I don't know. She might, like, start the challenge and just...
I'm kind of surprised that Katora has made it this long. But I'm also surprised that Emily has made it this long. I feel like people would recognize that she's a threat. I feel like if people were thinking straight, they would have gotten her out instead of Kendra that one week. Because, like, Emily is a way bigger threat than Kendra to win. Like, if Kendra's in top three, I don't really think she stands a chance of winning.
Yeah.
I think if Emily's in top three, she stands a huge chance. So I'm like...
Yeah.
Also, like, so I'm just like, why are you voting her out? Like, I understand why Katora's still there. I don't think that she has a huge chance in top three.
Yeah.
Emily, huge chance. I would not want to be up next to her.
Yeah. I mean, she literally went from, like, talking crap about Bruce during the marooning to, like, making it this far. Which is impressive for a social game.
Yeah. Yeah, she went from talking crap about him on the marooner to convincing him not to play his idol.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge, like... at this point, I feel like she deserves to win because she has no real allies still in the game, and she is still in here. Whereas, like, I'm sorry, but, like, Drew and Austin and Dee and Mama J are just kind of, like, sitting pretty. Like, because they have the most allies, which is impressive, but
they're not fighting.
They're not squirming at all.
Yeah, I think I've also seen a lot of people saying that Emily is getting a winner's edit, which I know that Jeff is like, there's no such thing. But
it's a natural thing. I feel like
it's like
you want to make your winner look good.
Yeah,
like you can say that that's not a thing, but I just think human nature that's a thing.
Yeah. So if Emily wins,
you know who's not getting a winner edit is Dee. Not to say they're painting her in a bad light. They just don't really show her. Like
so I'm like, I don't think she's winning. Unless some changes next week.
Jake Loki also getting a winner edit.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot.
We're seeing a lot of him. But also, he's always at the bottom of the totem pole, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Also, like, Austin and Dee in love or what? Like, did you see like the preview for next week where they're like hugging? And I was like, do you guys want to date? It's totally fine if you do. But
I
like,
follow a bunch of Survivor people on Twitter, and so many of them have been talking about them like being all flirty on the island. And I think I sent you guys the tweet that.
Yes.
Drew posted. Because everyone's like making like the what's the sound? The TikTok sound. It's like it's just me and you and me
and your friend Steve. Yeah.
And he was like, "Who's the third wheel in this?" And it's like him and Austin.
Yeah. I also think that if you ever watch a tribal council, and you watch Austin while D is talking, he looks like a puppy dog. And like you should go back and watch like the last two tribal councils and just look at Austin's face. He's like he it looks like he's in love with her. Yeah. Oh, he googly eyes. And I'm like, okay, it's again totally fine. You guys are in love.
If like I
Franny
wonder if
and
that's
Matt are still dating.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder that. I
haven't
haven't
them.
looked at them in a while.
I'm like, but I wonder if they're like what's it called? New age. What am I thinking?
New era.
New era. I was like new age. They're the new era's Rob and Amber.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
I hope so. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a cute couple. I don't know how in love D is with Austin. I've only seen it from Austin. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
You're
they clearly
emotional.
like each other enough to be allies this whole time. I think that's all my thoughts. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's all my thoughts. It was a lot. It was a lot in the 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Well, that's it for this week, and we'll see you next Monday.
Maybe.
Maybe.